Hey, what's good, everyone? Twisted here with Open Sorcery, and today I want to go ahead and talk about performing a method of energy cleansing that can go ahead and help alleviate negative thoughts, negative feelings, feeling heavy, and all of that sort of thing. And that's called a Blackstone energy cleanse. Now, when it comes to that, it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of what you're doing, but I'll go ahead and get into, a little bit of the simple aspects of it, as well as my own personal touches or recommendations, or just further stuff that you can consider before going ahead and doing it to customize it, as opposed to what is provided in the base source material I'm going to be referencing. So, when it comes to a Blackstone energy cleanse, right? Why would you go ahead and do it, right? Well, as alluded to previously, to cleanse your energy bodies of your own negativity. So, if you happen to be feeling very sad, angry, nervous, anxious, depressed, anything of the like, that sort of thing can be energy that has been sitting within you, whether it be for a short-term period, a mid-term period, a long-term period of time that's gone unsettled and not necessarily resolved or taken care of or removed from you, addressed, you get the point. But not only just something that has already existed within you for a while, but things that you've picked up from your environment recently or a longer period of time, or taken on particularly from another person, or potentially in a manner of either a conscious and malicious manner or a subconscious manner, and potentially malicious, tongue-tied there, potentially malicious of, negative energy, some sort of hex, curse, bad juju coming from another person based on their own negative intentions. Once again, either consciously thought or directed, or something that is just, they happen to be very jealous and they don't recognize the actual spiritual or energetic effects of said jealousy, which tend to be commonly referred to as the evil eye, or known also, based on its Italian word roots, as malocchio. Now, previously, both Devi and I went ahead and talked about various ways to combat negative sort of things that may come your way in regards to not just this, but other sorts of negative, I'm trying to think of the best word to put it, negative threats or anything that might cause you harm. And that was back when we were discussing protection magic and all that sort of thing, with the cheeky subtitle of Defense Against the Dark Arts, for those who are fans of Harry Potter. But, nevertheless, you can check that out, that conversation. I'll put a link in the YouTube posting of this if you wish to. But, in regards to a Blackstone energy cleanse, for any of the reasons I listed, as well as a variety of others, you can go ahead and employ this method to go ahead and help you get rid of that energetic muck or that energetic yuckiness that happens to go ahead and, exist within you or surrounding you in any way, shape, or form. And what you want to do is, so for the energy cleansing, utilizing, once again, a black stone or a crystal or a gemstone, as whatever term you are best acquainted with these sorts of rocks and things. But yes, I have here, 5 black colored stones that would go ahead and operate well and be appropriate for this sort of thing. This is not the conclusive list, and there could be other sorts of stones that also help that are not necessarily of the black color variety. However, that is up for your own further research and finding out, as well as intuitive notions. But nevertheless, the 5 black stones that I got right here, pretty common, simple stones that you can find at a metaphysical shop, or, some sort of geological associated place, or maybe potentially out in the woods, or wherever the heck you go ahead and find your crystals and gemstones at. And these are obsidian, jet, black tourmaline, black onyx, and hematite. Now, Each of them, they have their own particular distinctions and so on and so forth. Not all black stones are made the same, but generally speaking, they'll go ahead and take care of this particular task of helping to cleanse you of negative energies and all that, as far as my awareness and experience has gone ahead and shown me. And truth be told, while I myself have not necessarily gone ahead and utilized crystals and gemstones all too much when doing energy cleanses, as I have my own other methods, this is something that I feel is very simple and able to go ahead and be utilized, especially for those who like tangible physical objects that you can go ahead and have in your hands, and more so have a feeling of that physical touch and things flowing into the stone itself. For those who are a little more so energetically aware and conscious and sensitive. Now, the particular method that we're going to be going ahead and referencing, or at least the particular written work, is the Blackstone Energy Cleanse write-up from the book Ritual and Essential Grimoire by Damien Eccles and his wife Lori Davis. Now, there's been plenty of times previously where, when it comes to opener sorcery, this book has been referenced or alluded to, recommended, and all that sort of thing. But this one right here is just another one of the very simple practices in this particular book and all of that. Once again, Ritual and Essential Grimoire by Damien Eccles and his wife Lori Davis. I'll say it one more time with a little more pronunciation or all that. Ritual and Essential Grimoire, in case I said it a little bit too fast earlier. But yes, this book right here goes ahead and has a variety of simple methods that you can utilize to help you go ahead and cleanse yourself of negative energies, provide protection, help you go ahead and sleep well and better, and charge you with beneficial energy, so on and so forth. It's very useful text and very short in length, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not worth the value of getting it. But yes, so going ahead and pulling up the page right here, I'll go ahead and read the write-up that was written particularly by Damien Eccles, because there's distinctions on the pages themselves of whether it was written by Damien himself or his wife Lori. Nevertheless, I'll go ahead and read it. Certain stones and crystals have an amazing ability to hold energy. Black tourmaline, obsidian, and quartz crystal are good examples. With the assistance of the cleansing power of water or sunlight, such stones can be powerful aids to purification rituals. Try this as an alternative to the methods based on vacuuming technique, which is, a technique that was referenced earlier in the text. Hold the stone in your hands in front of your chest. Imagine a white light at the top of the universe. As you inhale, bring that light into your heart center, and as you exhale, send that light, along with all the impurities in your energy body, down your arms and into the stone. To purify the stone, hold it under the faucet, letting the water run through it, in quotations, and down the drain to be purified. Another way to clear the stone is to leave it in bright sunlight for a few hours. And then there's a little tiny note talking about different gemstone correspondences that are existing within the book itself. Now, when it comes to this particular text right here, what he went ahead and talked about, I have a couple of potential modifications to this that you can employ yourself if you so choose. If you want to go ahead and, or maybe it might spring some ideas of how you may go ahead and find a better way individually for yourself to do so that works particularly for you. So, the one thing that I can go ahead and recommend is, as opposed to necessarily white light, maybe going ahead and visualizing golden light itself. And with that is based on a previous monologue talk that I did speaking on the golden light meditation that was previously done on the channel and such. and I can leave a link for that in the YouTube description below. But generally speaking, the Golden Light Meditation is something that you can use to cleanse and fill in any cracks within your astral, emotional, mental, your subtle energy bodies, and so on, And of course, obviously, it having, physical effects and all of that. Also, you can go ahead and invoke an entity of your choosing, or whichever seems most appropriate to help you in this endeavor to guide your negativity to the stone itself, or to later cleanse it of impurities. And while several recommendations came to mind as I was brainstorming and thinking of how to present the Blackstone Energy Cleanse method itself, the first one that initially popped out for me is that of Archangel Michael. Now, this going ahead and employing Archangel Michael, when you have the black stone in your hand, your palm, you go ahead and do so, and you pray to Archangel Michael, or you intone their name. And by intonation, I mean going ahead and emphasizing each syllable. So for those who are unaware of intonation, it will be something along the lines of Mikael, which is more so in relation to the Jewish pronunciation of Michael. But yes, also you can go ahead and invoke them in any other manner that you choose or deem appropriate. After going ahead and doing so, visualize Archangel Michael in terms of their figure, or just blue colored fire coming from up above and enveloping you, helping to burn and melt away those impurities that you've been holding on to, or got stuck to you, or whatever the case may be, and guide and channel them into the stone itself and all that. So a couple different variations of going ahead and helping with the cleansing process itself, and not only just in regards to Archangel Michael, but other archangels, deities, elementals, and variety of other beings are capable of assisting in this task, in this endeavor. But I leave it up to anyone listening to research or intuitively discover what would work best for them to go ahead and fulfill this, and go ahead and add a little bit extra oomph to the Blackstone Energy Cleanse, or modify it however they see fit. Now, once you go ahead and actually utilize the stone itself to cleanse and purify you, right? The stone is going to retain that negativity, right? But it can only hold so much. It is a conscious being, what have you, in regards to it having its own manner of awareness, and that is something that is a bit discussed in regards to the topic that was previously covered of panpsychism as well as animism a while back on channel. That's another link I'll go ahead and provide in the description if you wish to listen to it. But going ahead and cleansing it, making sure that it is taken care of and properly maintained. And when it comes to the variety of black stones, not all of them are made the same necessarily. There's a variety of different ways that you can cleanse different crystals and gemstones. Now, when it comes to finding out what it is, you'll have to find out what particular stone that you are utilizing, and some of the ways that you can go ahead and energetically cleanse the stone that you're using, the black stone you're using, can include, but it's not limited to, running it over with water, going ahead and leaving it out in a full day's sunlight or a full night's moonlight, particularly on a full moon, and using sound like from a Tibetan singing bowl, or maybe chimes or bells, or any sort of thing that generates a high-pitched or positively tiered sound, and so on. But you got to research the conditions that are best suited for the black stone that you're using before and after said cleansing, so that way you don't do any harm or damage to the stone itself, and you can go ahead and take care of it as it's going ahead and helping take care of you and all that, as well as just for a general sake of maintenance and upkeep and all that. But, so, for example, right, of a stone that's, may or may not, be good in certain methods, but, has other methods that will work just fine. So, the most common black stone, and I alluded to it initially, that people think of a lot of times is obsidian. And running water over any crystal like obsidian isn't necessarily recommended, as based on what is called the Mohs hardness scale for crystals, gemstones, and rocks of how hard it is, the water itself can potentially degrade it over time, or, possibly in a shorter manner of time, but I digress. So, it ranks a 5 to 5.5 on the Mohs hardness scale. And when it comes to utilizing water cleansing, as far as I'm aware and have found out, you can go ahead and use the water cleansing method, and it's appropriate for stones that rank as a 6 or higher. Also, using the sun or solar energy is not necessarily beneficial for many types of obsidian, and while it may work for a slight few variations, it is mostly advised to stick with other methods like, bathing it in the light of a full moon overnight, or using a Tibetan singing bowl or sound bowl, or utilizing a means of meditation, doing it in the midst of meditation, whether it's, going ahead and, utilizing a visualization along with it, sensing it out, going ahead and thinking of, the earth itself swallowing up that negativity from the stone after using it as a physical medium, and so on and so forth. But I digress. Once again, just be considerate of the particular type of stone you're using, and educate yourself and learn further on what it is that is going to be the best thing to cleanse the stone after cleansing yourself with it. And the last point I want to go ahead and touch upon is when you're going ahead and cleansing yourself energetically, giving yourself a nice energetic bath or wash down, and you go ahead and use the stone as a physical medium, to go ahead and do so, whether it is after you go ahead and cleanse the stone itself, or even potentially before, while you're doing the cleansing process of yourself, right? You're going to want to go ahead and cleanse your space itself, your physical domains surrounding you, and all of that. Now, while I'm not going to go ahead and cover that all too much specifically, that has also been addressed previously on Opener Sorcery by my co-host Devi, and that is another link I can put in the YouTube posting of this talk and all of that. So yes, all that having been said, once more, the Blackstone Energy Cleanse, it's a very simplistic but effective method to help you go ahead and get rid of all that energetic yuckiness, that muck, the impurities, things that spur on negative thoughts and emotions, things that either are self-generated or have attached onto you from other sources. And lo and behold, this could be something that you find is useful for you on a rather frequent or semi-frequent basis in your own practices and methods of maintaining your own, not just spiritual health, but once again, mental health, emotional health, physical health even, and so on. So, with that all having been said, once again, this has been Twisted with the Opener Sorcery, and stay frosty, Neguses. Peace.